Well, you're still.
Hello, we're actually live now. That's cool. We're learning a new software. Welcome to Meditations of Medicated Minds from the Medicated Minds that brought you Dabbing with Dad and Pink Sock Podcast. We have a little disclaimer at the bottom too. We gotta.
I like that too. Feeling like regal. What's going on, guys? Sorry it wasn't on a Monday, but I had some personal things that popped up. Mike's
Sorry.
got life, and all that entails going on. So you're gonna have to deal with it being tonight. But love, peace, chicken grease. What's up, guys? How are y'all
What?
doing tonight?
What's happening,
I gotta
everyone?
pull up. I need to pull it up on so I can see the chat here.
Let me know because for some reason it's not showing the comments yet. But
Might
oh
not be
my
able to
god,
enter yet.
oh my god, this is fucking cool that we finally get to do this. And we have a little live chat off to the side. So when people start commenting, there we go. Look. Voila. All right, I have some things that I do want to discuss with you before we really dive in. We should probably, because we are two stoners and we forget this part. Check us out, Coop. It's time to promote ourselves, man. So let's let's
All
promote
right,
our let's promote ourselves. You want to go first?
you go right ahead, Bubba.
Um, I have some comedy shows coming up in the works, but the one that's both have coming up is July
24th.
24th. R&L Strength and Conditioning is doing their summer bash, and we're going to be there fucking woo, partying it up, having fun, and telling jokes and being funny, man.
Is that what they call that?
I don't know. I just call it trauma dumping. I don't,
That's not what I call it. I call it therapy people are paying me for.
People
It's
think we're joking when we say these things. We just say it funny. We just
like nope. There's real pain behind those laughs. I laugh to hide the tears.
so we are both doing that event. So that's one of our upcoming events and projects. We've also got this show. I have Pink Sock. You can find everything about me at usenick.com. I now have a website. You should make your own, Coop.
Oh, I had one for a while. I need to open up another one. But the other reason I haven't done a website, and if we're being 1,000% honest, because again, I have had one before, and that's just another platform that I have to moderate for. You know what I mean? Like,
Bro, they need to make an app where you can moderate all of your apps in one place.
like that's the world I want to live in because good googly moogly.
And why do we need so many platforms? Like, I understand, like, the whole capitalist shit. But, like, why do we need this many platforms and some of them are exactly the same? Like,
And that's my argument with it. You have so many platforms that are exactly, I mean, like they are set up the same, the whole 9 yards. Each one swears they're the best. They're damn near turning into religions.
ours is the best. God damn it.
You better follow it.
So, we do have some interesting news that I had found that I would like to talk about. Uh,
What's
let's,
up?
let's get to sports first, because I know a lot about sports.
You
Um,
know so much about touchdowns and
yeah,
whatnot.
I love hockey. Um, Sports news. The NCAA Division One has announced that they're voting on removing cannabis from the banned substance list.
Well, that's good. The UFC already has.
That was
BKFC, the NFL has actually dropped cannabis as something it's a precursor for their athletes to get in trouble for having it. In their system. So,
bro. We think alike. I already had a banner written up about that too. Continue.
but I just think it's one step forward because they could be taking all these fucking massive narcotics that are going to destroy them, especially in the long run. Especially let's take a deep dive in the NFL for a second. Look at the CTE, the amount of injuries these guys take. You know what I mean? Like, and they're sustaining heavy injuries. They say that the average NFL player, like a hit, is the equivalent of running full sprint into a fucking garage door wearing a rain jacket.
Bro, and not to mention, dude, the NFL already announced they're partnering on a new study using CBD to treat pain and protect from concussions instead of using pain meds.
Yep, as part of their concussion protocol, which is
Yep.
absolutely phenomenal, especially considering CBD works the exact same way as ibuprofen and Tylenol. It's a natural NSAID, therefore it helps. You know what I mean, with your blood flow regulation and the inflammation and around your joints, around your vascular system. It's good for that. So why wouldn't it help and be 40 times safer than these narcotics you're giving these guys who end up, going back to my initial point, these guys end up with concussion issues.
Yep.
You're giving them narcotics. They've already, most of them have, you know, PTSD. The other ones have they have CTE so severe that it can actually turn into multiple personality disorder and
Well,
borderline
yeah.
disorder. And you're going to give them a fucking drug addiction on top of it.
Yeah, and me and you both have grown up wrestling fans, and CTE was a big. It was brought to the limelight after the whole Chris Benoit thing because they didn't
Yeah,
realize how bad it was until that happened.
because that was tragic, and the fact that they basically had to wipe that man from the history books to try to run away from the
Yeah.
inevitability of they should have been watching that situation a little more closely. He didn't just snap that quickly out of nowhere. John
And
Lee, what's up, Bubba? Vicky,
what
I
is
see
up?
you, girl.
What's up, John Lee? What's up, Vicky? Let's get to the chat a little bit. Say hi to some of these
Michelle
people.
Hollingshead, how you doing today? Damian Johnson, what up, man?
We have
Corey
Vicky.
Roder, I see you popping in there, sissy. How you doing?
This thing's a
Miss
little
Peggy, how you doing tonight? Her name's fun
Peggy.
to say. Say it.
Peggy. That's
It
how I
sounds
say
like a subcategory on XNXX.
It's in my search history.
I'll bet it is. And we're not talking Peggy the Pirate.
Oh
No, we love
my!
you, Peggy. Your
I,
name's
I
really fun. Troy Swaggart, what up, man?
I knew a girl one time. Her nickname was Peggy, but her name wasn't actually Peggy.
I don't want to know if you're begging me. Keep it on the low. Or whatever your Mario Winan said.
But you know what's gonna be fun is when we get stoners in the UFC because they'll get in there and be like,
There
"Why?"
already are.
They'll be like, "Why are we fighting, man?" It's fucking-
Bro, the UFC is sponsored by Three Chiefs. So is Rough and Rowdy, the boxing thing, which is it's like a professional tough man thing organization. But they're actually sponsored by a lot of CBD businesses. The
Bro.
UFC actually has, like, Dana White has been very pro cannabis. Shout out Nate Diaz, Nick Diaz,
So,
Sugar
bro,
Sean O'Malley.
the UFC is now owned by the trade company TKO, which also owns WWE, which the president is Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Surprise, surprise. The man's everything else, too.
He also owns half the XFL.
But Billy Blaze sponsors Seth Schaefer. He was the BKFC heavyweight champion, or welterweight champion, and he was the police divisional champion or something like that. Like,
What,
he
what
has
is
like a
what is
special
the
belt that
welterweight?
so many
What is
people have actually held.
what is welterweight? Is it between like lightweight and heavyweight?
Yes, it's like right above fly and bantamweight.
I
Just
didn't
means
even
you're
know
a
those
little
were.
bit heavier, small guy. But those are the guys that they're the fun ones to watch. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, the big guys." No, those small fuckers are scrappy, bro. They come at you like a buzzsaw. Have you ever watched Uriah Faber?
I saw this video one time. I don't think it was what you're talking about, but I saw this video one time. It was Kimbo Slice. He was supposed to fight Ken Shamrock this night, but Shamrock twisted his ankle. So instead, he fought this little scrawny dude who had like a pink mohawk or some shit. He had pink spiky hair, bro. And Kimbo came running at this dude. Everybody thought he was going to knock the shit out of this little kid. He went to punch, he tripped, and the kid knocked him out in 15 seconds.
Oh, dude, that's what I'm saying. Those small guys, everyone like they look at these small guys and they're like, "Oh, sure, I'll tear you apart." Just because you're big does not. That means that small guy is 40 times faster than you, 6 times more limber, and Lord forbid they're a skinny guy with like long appendages, arms, legs, because that means they can reach you further. They have a whole lot longer distance to fuck you up with. People don't put that kind of like thought into perception, but shout out Jay Davis. He sponsors a bunch of fighters. You know
That
what I mean? Like
dude's
Mark
everywhere, man.
Coleman, Seth Schaefer. Like, he's got like some legends. And Zab Judah and all those guys are all with their team Turf House Farms. Shout out Jay Davis. Absolutely love that dude. But he kind of like hit them heavy with the fucking CBD and the THC realm, to where, like I said, he picked a lot of these guys up, and a lot of them have gummy lines and stuff with Turf House Farms because of Jay. So they've been very pro THC, but it's a safer alternative for these guys. They're not getting them all doped up. It's not continuing to hurt their brain and their neurological function. It's already messed up thanks to the CTE. Like, the last thing these guys need to be doing is fighting demons on top of it, when knowing most of them came into the sport with all kinds of them. That's why they're so angry.
Bro, it's just awful. The CTEs, the fact that like athletes in the past did horrific things, but they are getting their careers getting punished, and then you find out that later on it was CTE. Like it wasn't even them. Because
No, and that CTE is a concussion disorder that actually
yeah.
it causes the brain to swell. Kate motherfucking Savage, how are you doing tonight, darling?
What is up?
John Lee said the Gracies were badass in UFC. Oh yeah, no, the Gracie family. When you hear Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, you know good hell well almost anyone who's coming out of that camp knows they know what they're doing and they're coming to hurt you, and they're going to choke you out with your own fucking arm, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like.
That's fucking terrifying. I can't fight. Like I don't. That's why I know people that can. You know what I mean? Like,
You're safe. I'll never claim to be Timmy Tough Nuts or Billy Badass, but
I can't fight.
Ass and I've taken an ass whooping.
Bro,
you know what I mean? That's what it is.
In high school, I was always the weirdo. Like nobody.
Even though I was there, you probably throw off the school shooter vibes. You didn't have to fight. People were just worried about you.
No, there was one time when I almost got in a fight, and it wasn't me. This kid walked up to me, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna kick your ass." And in front of all of his friends, I dropped to my knees and said, "Well, I'm gonna eat yours." And they all scattered, bro. I ain't kicking ass. I'm eating it.
That is probably a surefire defense because I would be. Bro, I don't know what I would do. Like, it's kind of like asking yourself, like, would you fight the guy with his thing out? You know what I mean? Like, okay, we'll put this into a scenario because everyone always looks at like, what do you mean?
Depends.
Okay, so you catch him with your old lady, so therefore there's a reason his thing-a-lang was out, and you two would have beef. Would you assault the gentleman with his thing-a-lang?
I need some
dangling.
I need some details really quick before I answer that, Matt. How hung is he first? Because that determines the fight. Because he might have a weapon. Like I ain't fighting a man with a weapon. Are you kidding me?
Well, okay, I guess in context, I don't. You said it'd be a weapon. It took like 4 seconds at the register, and I was like, "Huh." That took as long as my sex life to register with me.
Oh shit! But dude, like. Depends. Like if he has a small wiener, like
Sailor Right, what's up?
Whoever's tuning in right now,
give your dad and mom a hug for me. My brother's on Medicated Mind. We absolutely love you, Kate. Said no, Matt. I was the scary goth chick. See, I was the preppy goth guy.
I was the goth chick. I mean, guy.
I bet I could see it. You with the black lipstick on, the eyeliner. Like I can't say much because I used to sneak in the eyeliner, but when my dad finally called me out on it, and he's like, "Were you?" Because like, he could tell I had wiped it off my eyes, and I was like, "It cuts down the strobe lights, Dad." He said, "What?" I was like, "You know, like in baseball, how they put the black spot of their eyes for the sun." I was like, "It's the same thing with a strobe light. It just, you know what I mean? Like that's what it is." I was like, "That's why you see all these metal guys. They all have the eyeliner. It's a secret. Like it cuts the strobe lights." And he was like, "Oh, all right." I was talking out of my ass. I just didn't want him getting on me because I was wearing fucking eyeliner.
You know why you wore eyeliner, Coop?
Because it made my eyes pop.
No, because your dad was more focused on the eyeliner than your red ass eyes.
That too. And it gave me one hell of a fucking, like, I could, if it ever commented on my eyes being red. Oh, I poked myself getting ready for the show. My bad, man.
In that video,
we were taking pictures for practice.
In that video of Art Plug pranking you with the black eyeliner, did that like take you back to the old days? Did it take you back?
So many people have asked me if that was staged. No. He took advantage of the fact, which I can't. He took a page from my book, and I got to say, I'm proud of him. I never look on that white shelf. You've been into the cloud. I never pay it. That white shelf there behind where we sit has become a catch-all. I keep it straightened up, but I don't pay attention to what's on that shelf. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. So he knew I'm not going to look over there. He set his phone up. I was coming out of the bathroom. I was stoned. Oh my God. When I tell you, like, I should not have been adulting at that point in time. I was so stoned, and he knew it. That's why he knew he could look at me and say, hey, look at my paintings through this kaleidoscope. He knew good hell well my high ass was, give it here.
Kaleidoscope. Are you kidding me? Fucking. But it was worth it. It was fucking hilarious, dude. You look.
But yeah, no. I have had so many people ask, did you guys plan that? I can wholeheartedly say no. That I just wasn't thinking about it. I was stoned and I was like, oh, a kaleidoscope. That'd be dope. Give it here.
That's fucking wild, dude.
Not to mention I had taken my microdose as well. So like I was warping fucking Saturn. I was in a good mood. Like,
bro, did you ever hear the band Gears? Random thought.
No.
Their drummer is going to be on Pink Sock Saturday at noon. They are a rock/metal group.
Oh yeah.
They're fucking killer, dude. I love them guys. So shout out to Gears, not Gears of War,
check that out.
But Gears. We have a lot of guests coming up, man. It's going to be fun.
What else you got coming up?
None that's been announced yet. I'm just going to announce.
Well, see, you brought it up like you were going to be able to say something.
Shh. I'm a comedian and I'm high. I'm going to be funny and say stupid shit.
I can't wait to see your comeback. Oh, it's in the mail. I got something.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Putting suckers in fear. Jag the Apostle, what's up, Bubba?
What up? I just hung out with his ass.
We're within like a week or two of y'all getting to hear Right My Wrongs, and I'm really excited about it. Like,
dude, I'm excited.
We got a couple more weeks to go, but it's good. It's good.
You got me so excited for this song.
I have to be honest, I am incredibly excited. Like, and I got to hear what I thought was like the final cut, which I was kind of glad because there was one little thing that I kind of wanted to tweak, but there was a couple of things they wanted to tweak. So they sent it back. They have it getting worked on. So I should hear something here directly because I had technically already held the final copy, but then we decided that was not the final. We needed a little bit more come in Tokyo on it before we were able to put it down. And I can't wait for you guys to hear this.
This is fucking gonna be cool, dude. Like, I've heard bits and pieces, but I ain't heard the final product yet.
You guys haven't got to hear the guitars and stuff yet. Like, you guys have heard the slow. You guys heard the initial Right My Wrongs. Shout out Joe Carr. My man ended up coming through. Shout out everybody that when I had asked, because Joe is incredibly busy. He's a really good guitar player. He's a professional guitar player. That's what he does. He does a lot of fill-in work and stuff. So, I mean, he's busy, and I get that. Like, he is in demand. The man can play guitar. So shout out everybody who said y'all would come through for us. I will be getting a hold of each and every one of y'all for some type of a feature here soon, just because I think it'll be fun. And I kind of have an idea. But he showed back up. He laid down the guitaring's perfect. It's perfect.
He is a killer.
It's a whole different song now. Like, with that guitaring, it's a whole different song. It went from like slow R&B hip hop to like, it's got that like Southern rock to it. You know what I mean? Like,
fuck yeah. I ain't got to hear it because Jag's like, I'm gonna tease you, and he's been teasing me ever since with that song. God damn it! You're making my lips all weird. You need to.
And I do have it on good authority. Shout out Chris Means. You know what I mean? And Manny. You know what I mean? Mall Black while I'm at it. Kadesh. Chris said that because we are dropping Right My Wrongs, I'm pretty sure every time Calligraphy performs, I get to perform with them, and they're making it part of the set because it is a song that they're dropping. So I am extremely grateful for that opportunity. It's going to be fun, man. Like, it's going to be fun. He said pause.
Dangling that shit in my face. He's the,
He said, "Oh." And I can hear him say it too.
bro,
Jag is
he's
the one person I know that strikes the same pose every time he sees a camera come up. Same thing. Trap out.
pow.
Like
And
Jag stance.
he does this every now and again. He does.
That's when he's feeling hella gangster. You know what I mean? Like you might get the. But
Bro,
normally he is. If he would just cock his elbows in a little bit more, he would go from Jag the Apostle to Ned Flanders. Howdly doodly.
he's not. He said, isn't he Puerto Rican though, Jag?
I think that's the plug. I think you got him confused with our artist, Mike Wallace.
No. I believe Jag is. He's got a Puerto Rican ass name. I give him that.
I mean,
I work with his cousin, and his
I call
cousin.
him Jag so often I forgot he had a name. Like, you know what I
He
mean? Like that
does.
man's name to me is Jag the Apostle.
I didn't even know he had a name until I started working with a relative of his, and then I realized he has family. Like I just thought he was an
Yeah,
apostle,
he's just
man.
here by himself, like just being just epic.
I
You know what I
need
mean?
my
Just
I
being
want my
cool as
money
fuck.
back, man. I was lied to.
I
So
feel like he's a couple years before his time with his rapping. Like that
did
that
you
man can
hear?
rap his ass off.
Did you hear what recreational states are doing now, Coop?
What's that?
State officials in most recreational states are now promoting cannabis gifting, infused baking, and safety tips for the holiday season.
Good. You know what I mean? Like there has been so, but it's also in states that they have a lot more of the younger generation in their political circles,
Mm-hmm.
where Ohio is just so it's a lot of old people. We have a few of the younger generation, and they get it. You know what I mean? Like they get it.
Right.
It's, we're just so split, and we still have such an older generation influence in
It
the places.
sucks.
So that's kind of what holds us back. But a lot of these other states are a lot more with it. They're a lot more progressive because they have a lot more younger generation influence in their rulemaking and in the explanation of what's going on in the world around them from their colleagues.
Bro, I was reading somewhere that Pennsylvania has been wanting to legalize, but they're actually getting everything ready to legalize, unlike Ohio did and kept fighting it.
I honestly believe that Pennsylvania and West Virginia have been waiting for
Yep.
one of the other states around us to legalize before they did it. They just didn't want to be the first one to pull the trigger. So when we just kind of pulled the hat trick and actually got, you know what I mean, like we actually did pass it, a lot of these other states, because if you've noticed, Ohio was very, very conservative when they were approving and allowing dispensaries. They try to keep a
Yep.
pretty good stranglehold on that with their people. West Virginia came out of the gate swinging. Like it took a minute for them to get their program in order, and it was a little like it was kind of weird. But then out of nowhere, they started dropping dispensaries, just boom, 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 boom.
No, there are
There's dispensaries in West Virginia popping up like Dollar Generals in Ohio. You know what I mean?
there's literally more medical dispensaries closer to me in West Virginia than closer to me in Ohio. That is
And
fucking
that's the
sad.
sad fact. There's like 6 different ones in West Virginia you can go to that are closer than OVNR and Sunnyside are to us.
And even Cambridge for me, dude. Like a lot of them's in like War. There's one in Warwood,
Oh, they got one
uh,
in Weirton. They got dude. They
Wharton.
got them
Like,
everywhere.
like what the fuck, dude? I miss this. Makes me miss the West Coast, dude. Shout out to the West Coast. You got like 30 dispensaries within walking distance. Like
Yeah, no, dude. They have dispensaries out west like they've got McDonald's. Those
they,
things show up. Those things show up everywhere. I seen one in damn Kroger before. Like those things are. Them and Dollar General pop. I think it's an invasive species.
you can get your Starbucks and then your Starbud, bro. I actually, when I was out west, I don't know if I told you this or not. If I did, we can continue on. But I went to this it was like a old coal mining town. They,
So Moundsville. Okay.
sorry, I lost you.
Would
It
you
was
go?
it was
I
set up
think so.
it was set up like an old mining town, like they'd never touched nothing. It was all original. Well, one of the businesses we stumbled upon, it wasn't a very big town, but one of the businesses we stumbled upon was when we walked up to it, it said, I saw doctor's office. That was the first sign I saw.
Here's your sign.
Next to that, attached to it, even had a door that entered the doctor's office, there was a brothel. And in that brothel was a restaurant. It was a fucking head and breakfast, bro. This was a fucking. And then you could go to the
That's
doctors.
fucking genius.
And you could go to the doctors and get tested right after.
It doesn't set in that fast. Bust your nut, walk in, check me.
Now I'm in the
I feel like I
waiting
got a
room.
runny nose, doc.
Oh no, bro! It was hilarious because I asked the guy running it. I'm like, "So you have the menu for the food? How much are these women? Like, I want to see what the ratio was like back then. You know what
You
I'm
buy a
saying?
burger, you get gifted some. No, it's on the gifting policy. They're
You
just
get a
really nice people there.
you get a fillet of fish, bro. You get a fillet of fish with your, with your fucking meal,
That
bro.
sounds like it's coming with something itchy. I got to be honest. Like that's
Oh,
that's a high volume, especially
check
if you know what I mean. Like, oh,
check this shit out, bro. In federal news, man,
they would be there 6 times a week.
U.S. senators and congressmen urge feds to fully legalize marijuana rather than reschedule it.
I believe it's going to happen because I mean the feds have been talking about doing it themselves. You know what I mean? So with the right amount of push, especially with everything else, like they need to do something with public relations right now. Like with everything that's going on in Texas, which I won't get political ever. So I'll just you know what I mean. Like they have to pull a hat trick. Like they need something to get the approval of people back, and their only way to do that is through legalizing and rescheduling because that is when state officials can finally you know what I mean take a fucking CBD infused chill pill and calm the fuck down. You know what I mean? Like,
You want to know one of my favorite, and I hate getting political, but one of my favorite shirts I ever read was it was when Tommy Chong was on the news in like the early 2000s, I think it was like 2000. I think it might have been just 2000. He went in, no, it was like 2001, 2002. It don't matter. He went in on the news and he was wearing the shirt, and the fucking said, the shirt said, "Hemp is an herb and Bush is a dope." And it was fucking hilarious.
and I can't say that I don't agree with it. Kate said, "Did you just say Wienerton?"
Yes, I did.
No, Weirton, West Virginia, is
Wiener
where they
Town.
put the foundry. But yeah, she said Wienerton.
Oh, dude, the DEA recently fired a man, right?
Right.
Because he tested positive for CBD. Well, recently, the DEA rehired this agent over positive drug test from CBD, agreeing to provide back pay for the lawsuit settlement. Any money he didn't make, they have to pay him anyway. What are they worried about? I've never been too high on CBD. I've never.
CBD is non-psychoactive, and now the
I
goddamn
know.
government didn't know that. Like I'm a dipshit from Ohio. A simple Google search will show you the CBD is non-psychoactive. You can't even catch a buzz with that. Like that's why people like they people put it in the same category as THC. So when they take it, they're like, "Oh, I didn't feel nothing." No, you felt better. Like CBD A
Yeah.
has an accumulative effect, but B, it's really good for aches and pains and stuff. It would do the exact same thing as taking one Tylenol when you don't need it. If you had an ache and pain somewhere that you just weren't paying attention to, you no longer have it now. You're naturally going to feel better. CBD works the exact same way. And the fact that again they are federal, like which they've been fighting this. This has been part of the biggest war on drugs. Like the biggest war in our history ever was the war on drugs. Like let's be fucking honest. That has spanned like literally generations after generation after generation of they're still fighting against this goddamn plant.
The,
Like
the, you know it's bad when like you announce a war on drugs and then the drugs win, man. That's they've been winning, man.
that's because you can't stop the truth, first off, and people were bound and determined to realize that plant can't be as bad as you're saying. And for people that it's a gateway. No, their childhood trauma is what led them to the other shit. I can promise you that.
I think they should legalize that and mushrooms and
Yep.
like
And
nature.
natural medicine should be legal.
Yeah.
Period.
Oh, I wish we could bring that state's rep on because
Oh, I've got so much to talk to him about.
Read this. In science news, the CDC has found that youth marijuana use fell in Washington state's largest county after adult use legalization.
And the problem is there's so many of those headlines, but they pretend that they're not there. It's like they just refuse to see those ones, and they just want to see marijuana causes involved in a fatal car crash, not telling you the guy's tire fell off. He was also drunk and on 9 other different things, and you know what I mean. But the weed was present, so it had to be its fault. Like
Yeah,
those are the
bro.
headlines you see with weed.
Fuck that, man. I hate like I don't know. I hate headlines really because there's like three stories and they're all the same story they're covering, but they're all different. You know what I mean?
I hate
Like,
headlines because it means that my hair's moving backwards.
bro, did you see that shit? All right. I can't get off of this because it's fucking
I
awful.
probably couldn't get off to it either. It's politics, but
No, this. Uh, have
okay.
you read
There was no
Vince
turn
Mc?
signal.
You know, there's a controversy right now with Vince McMahon, bro. I don't know if you saw that or not, but
Yeah.
I read the text messages. They posted them.
Before you go any further, I have one honest question.
Yeah.
Are you surprised?
No, but I'm impressed because one of the text messages sound like a WWE storyline, bro. He was describing his kink to this girl, and he's like, "I want 3 dicks at the same time, all 3 holes."
It's a battle royale, isn't
Like
it?
he's going in depth, and he's like, "Big black dicks, I like big and black." And then he's like, in your, he starts like naming all this shit. And at the very end of the text message, he's like, and then I flip you over, revealing my face and I jizz on your face. So at the very end, it's like, it was me, Austin. And he's just fucking, it was me
They
all
fucking rock
along.
bottoms are out of nowhere.
Even my,
In all seriousness, the man has had how many allegations against him?
it's not shocking, the whole Pat Patterson story, but I'm not going to get into that. They waited until Roddy Piper
One second.
was dead to unleash that. But like, it's fucking wild, bro. I think I might have like froze a little bit because I'm talking to a microphone. There we go. There's that sexy beast.
Yes.
What
No, my,
happened?
my microphone, which is my. Hang on.
Man, you're a hot mess. Shit.
There
That's
we
a.
go.
Where'd you get that microphone? I want like one, but I want it to be pink.
Amazon, my G. But no, actually, my good Behringer mic. Um, I don't know. I think there's either a short in the receiver or a short in the cord in the bottom part.
Does
So I'm going to
Behringer,
actually have it worked on because I love this microphone.
does Behringer sell good mics then? Because I have a Behringer like sound system, like the little box that you plug your headphones and shit in, the receiver. I got one of those, but I don't have their actual mics.
No,
I
Behringer is actually, especially when it comes to their. I mean, in my opinion, I like Shure and I like Behringer, and I always have. Now, as far as like my metal vocals and like my normal vocals and stuff, like when I'm singing, I use a Shure microphone, but it has a lot more versatility for you can do cleans through it or you can do the heavier screams and stuff and it doesn't like have that super crazy echo to it. Like these are made for talking.
These mics were made for talking, and
And that's
that's
just
just
what we'll do. But back to Vince McMahon. There was how many allegations before
oh,
this? You know what I mean, like he's paid how much? Like five different. No one says this about you 5 different times, and one of them not be telling the truth. You know what I mean? Like someone feeling. I've never had anybody say that they even felt uncomfortable around me because you know what I mean? Like, I make it very clear that yes, I'm going to say stupid shit, but I'll never come like out of pocket. So the fact that it hasn't been said about me once and you're supposed to be the, you know what I mean, CEO of a multi-billion-dollar corporation in an entertainment business that people know exactly who you are and you've had 6 allegations now that we all know of that you actually paid money to.
you,
That tells me like
you,
something
you
something's
know
up.
what's crazy? You know what's crazy though? They had to fire Brock Lesnar because he was involved.
So was what was his name? John
Laurinaitis,
yes, which he looks like a creep. Let's be
bro.
honest. And I said it's my opinion, but
You know how he was involved? Vince was pimping this girl out to him, and they were having 3 ways with her and shit. My man Vince was into some shit, my
Well,
boy.
dude, yeah. Well, because according to the again, allegedly,
He shit on her. Like, he fucking shit on this girl.
it was part of him coming back from the UFC, coming back here. They wanted him to come back to the WWE.
Yeah.
So she was again allegedly promised to him as a thing. So Brock's like, okay, you mean like send me some videos, whatever, allegedly. So and then apparently what he sent back was which it, to you just I was shocked when it was Brock Lesnar. There's like 70 other people I would have said okay maybe, but I was really surprised when it was Brock Lesnar. I got to be honest.
I don't I don't understand though, because Brock Lesnar has a fucking Playboy supermodel for a wife, bro.
Yeah, that's just that's a classic case of you know what I mean. Like you thought the grass was greener, but at the same time, like you knew this chick wasn't down with it. Well, I guess he wouldn't if Vince is saying no, she's down, and then she sends him a message. But I feel like unless that person approaches you themselves about a situation like that, naturally, I'd say like 9 out of 10, it's not their idea. You know what I mean? Like they're only down with it because they don't have a
Well,
choice to be at that point.
you
It seems. I wouldn't be able to do it. You know what I mean? Like we all
you
have
saw
our things. Like don't get me
the
wrong. Like
allegations.
I do enjoy a good role play, and the wife understands that there's a trust there. But at the same time, like I couldn't. I don't know. I don't. I
No,
couldn't. I don't know.
I got high last night and I made a post and
Surprise.
I laughed at it. The person I was hanging out with laughed at it, and everybody else laughed at it. But I can see it getting me in trouble. Let me tell you about it.
Uh-oh.
Me and this girl was watching Confessions of a Killer, and we were watching this Jeffrey Dahmer tapes, like he's talking.
Yep.
And I made a post. Mike Usenick is watching Confessions of a Killer, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, and I'm like, I'm not one to kink shame, but come on now. Like, we have to draw the line
It's yeah.
somewhere.
It's like I don't judge a lot of things, but I'm gonna judge that. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
to make me judge you, you were trying. I feel like that was your
well,
goal.
the thing is though, is like I just thought it was funny, like calling it kink shaming. Fucking,
I
like,
mean, but
that ain't a
essentially that
kink.
is what you're
That,
doing. But yeah, no, you froze up there, and like when you came back in, like when it finally snapped back, you were already mid laugh, so it was like,
bro, I do that shit. I'm kind of like Will Ferrell. I just like.
yeah, you just kind of like stopped and
I don't know why it's freezing tonight, but it's technology, bro. It happens.
yeah, that's why we moved our booster a foot away from where our phones and shit usually are, or like where Cody's laptop is, so that
I need to get me a booster.
we're like one step away from plugged, you know, like just directly Etherneted. But and
Where did you
honestly,
get that?
you can get them, dude. You can get them at Walmart's. Got cheap ones for like $50. You can get a good one, like a solid one, and especially where out you live, I would get the little bit more expensive. But I mean, you can get them for under $100.
Damn, dude, that's
Like
fucking dope.
it's just an extender, so you would take and run your Ethernet cable from your router to it, and then it becomes your Wi-Fi signal. You know what I mean? But it's like right there in the room. So instead of
Bro,
having it stretch that far,
I love that shit. That
it's
is
not.
fucking dope. I used to have one, but it was like a cheap one. Like it didn't even work. Like, I don't even think
See,
it did
that's
anything.
why we have camera guy Cody. You know what I mean? Like I would be friggin' lost without that man when it comes to this to like the technological side of what we do every like week to week. I'm constantly having to run to Cody for stuff because he does the editing. You know what I mean? He explains and he runs the software and shit for us. Like all I have to do is show up and act a fool, and then I'm good to go. I'd be lost without him.
Bro, it's hard to do the shit on your own, man. I
Tim
applaud anyone
Oxley,
that
what
does it.
up?
What is up, Tim? Tim, the Tool Man. No, that ain't him. Tim Oxley of Wrath of the Fallen. Go check them out. They're incredible.
Nice.
That is
Doing.
that. Is,
We'll have to check those guys out actually.
he's a good friend of mine, and he also is in that band with my cousin PJ.
Oh yeah. What I mean, are they playing it? Do they play out
They
still?
fucking rock. They still perform. Yeah, they're still out there. They're doing shit. They have shit on Spotify. They have shit on all streaming platforms. I do believe.
Oh, let's check that out.
They are fucking killer, dude. I
I'm
I like it a lot.
still like I'm almost able to breathe like fully out of my nose, but I still feel like a freaking mouth breather. I've been getting on myself. I feel like I'm breathing like that weird kid from Hey Arnold.
Bro,
It's like a
don't
fat
judge
kid staring
don't
at a
ju- don't
oatmeal cream
judge don't judge me, but I think I breathe out of my mouth more than I do my nose.
pie.
I think
See, I just have this weird
I am a
thing.
mouth breather. I don't
I feel
pay
like it,
attention. I just breathe.
I feel like I don't know, like you just kind of get comfortable, and I mean, and I'm fat, so I've got an extra like couple pounds hanging from the front of me. But like you just hit that point where you're just kind of standing there, you're not paying attention, and you just start like just like heavy like Lamaze breathing for no reason, just and you don't realize it. You're just breathing, focusing on whatever it is you're focusing on. But I just feel like I'm really self conscious about that.
I had a doctor ask one time. They're like, "Do you sleep with your mouth open?" I'm like, "How the fuck do I know?" Like I'm like,
See, I know I do because I have woke myself up because I snored too loud. Like I've
bro.
scared myself awake from
You
snoring.
you know how I know? I wake up with fucking cotton mouth every morning.
Well, see,
Like
I do
my,
that because I smoke before bed.
I mean, I could be it too, but
I've always kind of chalked that up to that. But I know I snore. Like I know, I've woke up and because if I'm on my back, I can't breathe through my nose. Like you
oh
know what I
shit,
mean. So like, and I'll get going, bro. It's a deep like grit. I'm a bear.
I'm a bar.
My wife will wake me up and go, Matt, please go out in the living room, or I will. One of the two.
What was that? You cut out.
Oh, I said she's woke me up and been like, hey, can you either go out to the couch or I will. One of the two, because I.
Oh my god, you sound like a tiger.
Rawr.
Rawr, rawr. Did you see that fucking video? It was on YouTube when I saw it. It was this guy. He was like a scientist, and one of his lab people, like the people that watched his thing, was asleep one night, and they decided let's go into the basement and see what's down there. And they fucking discovered like all these chemicals and shit and like lab paperwork for like this shark creature. And then he opened up the main door, and there was this thing looking back at him that was like twice the size of the megalodon.
Nice.
This dude had in his basement, underground, in a bunch of water, he created his own megalodon.
How the fuck do you do that?
That reminds me of some
I feel like that's every like
grandma's boy shit, bro. Like,
dude, that's every scary movie like come to life. Like that is the movie Meg come to life, and you have it under your house. Like, what was your end game there? Just to see how long you could keep it before it kills you? Like, it's a
or
megalodon.
yeah, but it's in the house, bro. Like, how the fuck are you gonna get it from your basement to actual water?
Well, even if you don't, so you're just going to keep it under your house for the rest of your life. Like, what? How does that work? And that's a lot
Man,
of water. Like, how much where did what pocket did you tap into that you had a cavern system that deep that you could have a whole megalodon underneath your house or in your house?
bro, if you had
That's
the
not a normal like shark exhibit. That'd have to be pretty deep for as big as a megalodon is. So you know what I mean, allegedly.
megalodon's fucking huge. It's like allegedly like one of the biggest things ever, like creature wise.
And they still find the teeth. Like they swear that megalodons might not be real, but it's like then what the hell is losing teeth that size when they find these things and they're bigger than a person?
It's terrifying, dude.
You know what I mean? And it's they know that it's a megalodon tooth and it is literally bigger than the diver that finds it. What where did that come from?
Bro, I saw a news article. Since we're just high and talking about random shit, I saw this news article. They said they allegedly found Noah's Ark. And I'm like, oh, they found Titanic first? Like, word. Like, you figure they'd have more time?
Beat you to it. But they actually don't think the Titanic's the Titanic though. They
It's
think it's
not.
the
It's a
Olympia.
sister ship. It's a
Yep.
sister ship that had a weak point in the same spot.
Yep.
What was it? Bertha SMS or some shit like that?
It
I don't know.
it was I think it was the Olympia, the Olympus or the Olympia.
The Olympia. That sounds fucking like it's not gonna sink.
She said, "Open them eyes, Coop."
Hey,
They're open, I promise.
mine are kinda.
Some Vicks vapor rub and clear it up within 2 days. I have some. It doesn't work like that for me, but I have a deviated septum too. So like even like smelling salts, they more or less burn my eyes and hurt my chest.
Oh, when you said deviated septum, I was about to ask, isn't that thing that Hank Hill had? But that's something completely different. Sorry, that's a narrow urethra. I got the two mixed up. I have what they call a narrow urethra. That's
Your urethra, I know her.
I love Urethra Franklin. She
I,
sung.
I oh I graduated with urethra.
Man, I actually knew Urethra. I dated her twice.
Zayla said, "Matt, hi, hi." Since we had to wait an
Like,
extra day to watch you guys, that means you got to give us an extra hour, right? Listen, if I was able to, I would, but I am still healing from being sick. So we just made sure to we will complete the
hey,
objective.
you know what would help you with that sore throat, my
You
man?
should also share it while you guys can and make sure you guys are liking as much as humanly possible. That helps in the algorithm and it helps this grow. So grow with us.
Speaking of growing and needing your
That's like a
sore
mutual mass. Never mind. What?
throat soothed, we
Huh?
have
You froze and it
cough
came.
drops
Yeah,
coming
the
in the
only thing I
mail.
heard was throat soothed, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Since you need your throat soothed, man, we should get you some cock drops from
I have some Halls cough drops in the house. They're the strawberry flavored ones.
no cock drops. I got some cock
Yeah, I
drops.
heard what you said. Cough drops. Right. I've
I have,
got some.
I have pineapple flavored, bro. It's
Speaking of which, uh, funny little, funny little ear hustling moment at the mall. We had uh, we had this little bong and it had a pineapple thing on it, and everybody would come in and make the upside down pineapple reference to it, and
oh
everyone would
yeah.
giggle whatever. Well, this couple come in and this guy was trying to explain, like we were all kind of joking, and he was trying to explain to his girl like what the upside down pineapple thing meant, and I don't know if it was just like it triggered something for her or what, but like she acted like she didn't know what it was, and then when he explained it, she acted as if like he was the one that brought it up in the first place. I watched them get into a rip roaring fight and storm out of the store over the discussion we were having about the upside down pineapple because she was like, "Well, how do you know so much about that? Is that if that's what you wanted, you didn't have to? Why'd you even call me? What happened? What? What just happened?"
I'm sorry, bro, but okay. If that's the woman's argument, let me defend my man. I don't even know him. Shout out to you, little Ralphie. I don't know what your name is, but I'm gonna call you Ralphie.
Everybody knows what the upside down pineapple means. Like
But
it's
no. Her defense, her argument is because you know what it is means that's what you want. All right, I named
he froze again.
my podcast Pink Sock, and I know what that is. And I can promise I ain't got one. Like
I don't want one.
I, I don't want one. I don't want one. I've never had one. Don't try this at home, folks.
No, that would, for those of you that haven't looked that up yet, don't. And for those of you that did, I'm sorry. But I mean, you've got a point. Just because you know a good bit about it, like I know about all kinds of stuff, it doesn't make me, you know what I mean? Like,
I had this guy that you should talk to.
if anything, the amount of stuff I know about that kind of shit should make, I think it makes me a pervert. Like, you
Uh,
know what I mean? Like,
there was a
I know way too, Urban Dictionary's been horrible to me.
there was a previous episode of Pink Sock that I just thought of, and I posted the little clip from it. But you guys should check it out if you get a minute. Mike Visano, he was the drummer of Warrant. He was on my podcast, bro, and he was talking, and his nickname's the Sack. And I'm like, bro, like, why is your nickname the Sack? He's like, I'll tell you, I've never told this publicly, so I'll tell you why my nickname's the Sack. And I'm like, okay. He was born with an abnormally large nutsack, and he would pay people to come backstage and look at it. Like he would pay $5 a pop, bro. And he went to the AVN Awards, and a porn star wanted to see it, so he took her and her boyfriend backstage and draped it over her face like fucking Phantom of the Opera. Like, bro,
You know
bro.
what? Honestly, like wholeheartedly, like that would suck. That would be uncomfortable. Like that. How? Yeah, first off, walking would be a challenge. Sitting down would be a nightmare. Like, any real inconvenience at that point in time because you're not like you ever like sit down too quick and not adjust them before you do.
Yeah.
Terrible. You know what I mean? Like you sit on your own. That's terrible. So I
Have
can
you
only
ever been
imagine.
have you ever been putting on your socks and accidentally stuff them in the sock? Have you ever do that, bro?
You know, I haven't, but now I kind of look forward to the day that I do. Just because now, like for science, I need to know what that looks like. Because I've
They'll
got a
think
mental image that I just
they'll think you're strapped at the ankle, but you actually just have your balls in there.
right. They're looking at it like, I see what you're working with. No, you don't. Get ready.
Bro, in the words of Woody, there's a snake in my boot. There's a
Good Lord. Michael Aliseo, what's up? How you doing, Bubba?
dude.
Will Hall, how you doing?
They should do they should do a live action,
Oh,
like more live
absolutely. I
action.
just found out
We,
what that means not long ago about the pineapple.
a funny story. A friend of mine, she she went to a party one time and she didn't know about the upside down pineapple, but she loves pineapples and she wore this sundress that had pineapples on them, and she kept getting hit on by couples and didn't know why. She finally found out later on in her life or her journey, and that's fucking hilarious.
That whole night probably made so much more sense. Oh,
Eh,
Michelle Holly said so.
Bro,
When Mike says, "Speaking of growing and soothing throat," I'm scared of what he's going to say. Me
yes.
too.
Speaking of, have you ever? No, I don't know. I was gonna say some shit, but I forgot what I
I
was
was
gonna
gonna say
say.
you said, "Have you ever?" Then you
But bro,
froze
it's
again. And I was
fucking
like, "You can't
wild.
stop there." Michael
Yeah,
Alisea is in the chat, dude. Shout out Alisea Murals. If you guys didn't go see his most recent painting with the minions, he put that video together, and like I feel like the audio to that video works perfectly. So, my man's getting up there with technology. We're getting him there.
woo! I love technology a little bit. Have you seen those
Michael
people
hates
that?
it.
Have you been seeing those fucking people that are like AI and fucking Aussies singing voice and shit?
Yeah, yeah, dude. But
They
that's
they
what
interviewed.
sucks nowadays. You can't believe anything you see on the like. You can't believe anything because the way this AI shit is now, it'll look like the actual person talking, and
Hey,
it's not them at all.
that's why I ain't worried about getting canceled because I can just be like, oh, that was an AI. I didn't say that shit. That's
I also
why.
look at it as I'm not popular enough for somebody to AI anything of yet. You know what I mean? Like I don't have those. I don't have that
Like,
type of following problems yet.
yeah, bro, but it's gonna get to the point where if you didn't see it in person, it never happened.
Or if I didn't tell you, because I'm pretty open and honest with all my fuck ups. You know what I mean? Like if
Me
I fuck
too.
up, I own up to it, and I can't honestly say I'm really good about that. Well, now that I'm older, when I was younger, I did take much accountability at all. Um, but I'm pretty good at owning up to my shit
We are
nowadays.
all fuck ups, so we all gotta admit when we do the fucked up because we're humans, bro.
I show my flaws, like when I fuck up, like I hold myself accountable publicly, just because like if I'm going to hold everybody else accountable, I have to hold myself accountable, and it took me a long time to learn how. I thought just me saying I was sorry for doing dumb shit was holding myself accountable, and it's like that's not it. Like you're missing the boat there with just an apology. So you know what I mean?
Bro, my thing is like I don't know. I'm a fuck up, but when I fuck up good. Like I at least like
Oh yeah, no, if I fuck up, I'm fucking up all the way.
I go all
I'm going hard in the paint
in,
when
bro.
I fuck up.
Well, it's like me. I'm a comedian, man. So like, you got to like realize that like what I'm portraying is not a real person. You're hating somebody that don't exist. Go fuck yourself. It's
See, and that's where like I'm a comedian, but I try to be as close to my true self as humanly possible. Like what you see is what you get. I am the same person on camera
oh
as I
no,
am
that's what
a
I'm saying
person
though. But my sense of humor is
off
so.
person off camera. Like I am me, and I know I'm flawed. I point that shit out. Can't nobody ever say, "Oh, well, you do da 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 da." Motherfucker, my life is as public as humanly possible.
Well, I gave somebody the old Dave Chappelle treatment the other day. They're like, "You said this on this date and blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, I probably thought it was funny back then." Like, fuck, let's just move on. Like, I
Well, that
just
and I'm not cool with people going back in people's past and stuff, and then trying to because that's why I tell people like I had a fucked up mentality when I was younger. Like I looked at a lot of things differently. It comes
that's
with
not me.
growth. So yeah, I might have said something dumb, and yeah, I'll apologize for it, especially if it's bothering somebody nowadays. But at the same time, you can't hold if our past doesn't define us, then you can't hold something from 3 years ago against me because I'm not him.
I was talking to somebody the other day. I think it was Jag, and they said that you are not responsible for other people not getting offended. It's up to them to handle how they're offended.
Right? Yeah, it's up to you to be offended. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you could also choose to be an adult about it.
Yeah, like if you don't like it, just fucking move on, man. Don't keep I might apologize for something, maybe. Like a joke I told, but I'm not gonna do it twice. Like I ain't gonna apologize for the same shit over and over.
See, and that's the thing with a lot of people nowadays is they want you to bear that whatever it was that you did that bothered them. They want you to continually say you're sorry about it. You know what I mean? They need validation for that I'm sorry,
And
and it's
seek
like you have to
therapy.
like you got to keep bearing that same cross with them every time they get mad, and it's like you are either going like, and that's why I don't like apologizing. I'd rather just say, hey, I fucked up. You know what I mean? Like I was wrong, but I'm not going to say I'm sorry because in my mind, and you can ask, I don't ever ask nobody to say I'm sorry. Like it's so
Bro, I'm getting a shirt
insincere.
made.
People say I'm sorry for absolutely nothing. They say I'm sorry the way they say I love you. You know what I mean? Like it just is what it is. So
And
I'm
you
sorry is something you say to appease somebody. If my actions don't say I'm sorry, then I'm not sorry. You know what I mean?
yeah. And the thing is though, is like you shouldn't have to say I'm sorry because somebody else got offended by something you didn't intend on being offensive. It's their fault the way they took it, man, at the end of the day.
Right, and I mean, and I'm also one of the people like if you question something that I've put, which is why I'm not crazy on text, and I send voice clips, and anyone who knows me knows that. That way, there
Yeah.
is no mixing words. You know what I mean, like that. And I text so much all fucking day long. I just voice clips are so much easier.
I just love hearing a voice, bro.
You know what I mean. I do have that coming from the lips of an angel.
I just have all your clips in like my playlist file and I fall asleep listening to them. Just
You know what? I can see that too.
it's on a soothing Spotify playlist, bro.
I'm gonna start doing ASMRs. I mean, just doing stupid shit.
Bro, I want to start a stoner ASMR.
Oh, that'd be great at it. Just
It's like us, and it's like the sound of the bong. It's like,
hold on.
oh, I can't hear it.
Hold on.
Hey man, you want to get high, man? You want to get high, man? You want to get
And
high?
people like genuinely watch that shit all the time. ASMR gives me anxiety the whole time because I'm anticipating their movements and then like their constant random no need for like fingernail clicking on shit. Bro, it sends my anxiety into a tailspin. Everyone's like, oh, ASMR is so satisfying. Where, bro? That is an ADHD nightmare. That
Bro,
makes me so anxious.
bro, have you seen? I saw this hashtag and I'm like, what the fuck is this? ASMR porn, bro, is a thing.
Yep. Yes, it is, and that like I can kind of see that too because I'm an auditory guy. Like I like you know what I mean, but like that's more like I don't know.
Yeah.
I do better with hearing things.
Me too, but like I also like seeing things. I'm a freak, bro. I get down dirty and rough. But I mean,
They always say they're a freak till they end up with a carrot in their butt on a Tuesday, wondering how they
I
got
I don't. I never wonder how it got there because I'm the one that put it there.
there.
Um, That's I don't wonder. I just did you see that? Did I tell you what happened to a buddy of mine?
What?
This doesn't break HIPAA because I'm not naming names or nothing, but a friend of mine who is a nurse,
Rose.
she had a gentleman come in and he's like, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. And they gave him an x ray. And this x ray showed he had a suction cup dildo, suction cup and all, way up inside. Uh, he was riding it and sat down real fast and it sucked its way up inside of him. Yeah. Yeah.
He turned into he was technically a missile launcher for like an hour. Frozen. He technically turned
They
into a
told
missile
him.
launcher. Here's actually a good question, real fast. Michelle
Yeah.
Hollingshead said, "Hey, did you say I can put seeds in a wet paper towel and get them to get them started?" Yes. What you're going to want to do? Go soak your seeds. Okay. Well, beans. Sorry, algorithm. You want to soak your beans. I use isopropyl or hydrogen peroxide in water. Distilled water is usually best. That's what most people will tell you. Um, but you want to soak them, give them about a good 24 hours, 48 hours, um, or take them on a paper towel, on a paper plate, fold it up, sit them in the center of it, get you a little mist bottle, mist it down. Again, I usually use a little bit of hydrogen peroxide in the rest of the thing of water. But mist it down real good, stick that little paper towel into a sandwich baggie, seal it up, take your other paper towel, moist paper towel over top of that, put the plate like another paper plate over top of it, and then put it into a cabinet, put it into a drawer somewhere where you're not going to mess with it, and then it stays decently warm, but you know what I mean, yet still cool. Like I said, cabinets work great, like in your kitchen, whatever. Just find somewhere that's dark that won't have light leaks, and just let it sit. Give it a couple days, come back when it's got a little white tail on it, a little whitish green tail. It's ready to go into its pot. If it's an auto flower, I tell people start them in whatever pot they're going to finish in is what you want to start them in. If you're going to use starter pots, make sure you cut away at the bottom. That way those roots can, you know what I mean, come down, or that you can at least remove that cup without stressing that root ball out too much. So you already want to have, like I tell everybody, if you're going to do it with the starter pot method, have your main pot ready. Have that your starter pot down inside of it. So that way, when you take that root ball out, you already have a hole big enough that that slug will fit right down into, tamp it down easy, give it its first good watering, top dress if you want to. I use like worm castings. They have a bunch of good root boosters, the little powders that you can get. You kind of top dress before you put it down in with it, and just kind of helps the roots um, deal with the shock of being transplanted. So with autos, they run their life cycle so fast. You want them to have adequate veg time. Like you want them to really, you know what I mean, as minimal shock as possible. So that's why I tell everybody with autos, since they run their life cycle so quick, the more you poke at them, the more you make them have to heal themselves or like de-stress, the less time it's spending growing. You know what I mean? So it's going to take more
Yeah.
time to heal those roots and whatever. So if you just start it in the pot that you're going to leave it in, start it in. I always start mine back a little bit. You know what I mean? Like not dead center because I let mine come up and then you bend them over and look into low stress training. But just before we get
Yeah.
too far off, we'll save that for a whole other live. And I'll probably do a couple videos on it since you can grow now in the state of Ohio. So I feel everybody should be taking advantage of that. Say, put a load of money in your pocket. And it's this super fun experience that you get to learn a lot about the plant.
And you're
And
smoking what's yours, man. You made
right,
that.
you work for it. You know what I mean? You harvest your crop. You know what I mean? That's a labor of love. So you might as well do it to the best of your ability. So anyone that has questions, go to any one of my like recent posts and ask it because I'd be happy to do a video on it. So if you guys have questions about growing, you guys have questions about things like that, start commenting them because I'm going to start using those questions and doing video responses to them. And it'll also give us some stuff. So whenever we come back next week, we can actually program a live around it. And I'm in the process of setting up my studio grow so that we can start the YouTube series on deep water culture. I'm very excited about that. I want to do one or two in soil and coco coir mix, and then another one I'm doing in a 27-gallon tub. We're going to do 3 plants. And I've never done deep water culture, so we'll be learning together. It's going to be an awesome time, but I'll make it as informational and funny as humanly possible. And we'll answer every question you guys have. So
Right.
start going to whatever post. Make sure you guys put whatever the comment is that you got, what you guys want me to react to. Make sure that I know that it's there.
Dude, I'm gonna make my own strain, man. I'm gonna do it.
It's high science, but it's worth it, dude. It'd be fun.
I want to
I'm
make.
good, dude. Giggle Bush OG, and Giggle Bush Kush are going to be a thing. I'm manifesting. I'm
I want a
manifesting.
strain that's my strain's the hairiest out there, bro.
I
Straight
bet.
up, it's fucking.
I bet it's just got little red hairs all over it. Billy Blaze, what's up, Bubba?
Did you? Thank you for handling the chat. For some reason, it quit working in the studio. I don't know what the deal was with that.
Do you necessarily need those heat lights? Okay, yes, you necessarily do need a good light. That is one thing that cannabis needs more than anything is a good sunlight. And technically, if you're indoors, you're mimicking the sun. That's why you want to get a decent full spectrum, and you can get them relatively cheaper. I mean, but you're going to get what you pay for. But
Mhm.
you can get a decent little starter light for one plant on Amazon. You're looking at about $100 for a good one, 150. You know what I mean, for a decent starter one. But I mean, they can get very expensive depending on how big of a grow you go. But you get 6 plants, 12 max in Ohio. So I mean, you need two decent lights, one for your babies, one for your plants that are in flower. Um, so, and that is another thing that we can do a video on is explaining, you know what I mean, some a little bit more in depth on like the lights, why you need the lights. But basically, everything that you're setting up in your indoor grow is mimicking the outside. So you're going to have a small fan that's oscillating, mimicking the wind. You've got your lights, which are going to be your sun, which you also have to get timers so that you can turn those lights off and, you know what I mean, be the bringer of nighttime. But you're basically mimicking that whole plant's lifestyle outside, just in an easy enclosed environment that's a little bit easier to control the humidity, control your temperature, control you have full control over that space, which means you can get the best yield possible from that plant. And I tell everybody too, everyone wants like these big gardens because it looks cool and it does, but that you want to make sure that you have enough room for that plant to grow because these plants don't stay small. Some
Some
of
of
these
them
girls
go
get
fucking
tall.
huge.
Yeah, some of these girls get tall. You know what I mean? They fill out like a lady should. Like, you know what I mean? She ain't 280, she ain't a lady, you know what I'm saying? And some of these
Bro,
plants you want to account for it to get bigger. And then when they're in flower, they go in the final stretch. So they actually get even bigger than, you know what I mean, they were.
I had a friend. He lived in
Bros.
Colorado. Sorry to interrupt you, but he lived in Colorado, and he was fucking told that he could grow 2 adult plants, whatever the rule was. So he grew 2 Afghan fucking plants. Now, if you know anything about some of these Afghans, that's what they hid behind in the Vietnam War, bro. Like that
12 feet.
don't fucking 12 feet, fucking big ass pine tree, and they're like, you have to have a fence around your house because.
Yeah, 'cause you gotta have something. You have to have something sectioning it off, and that's like
Right.
in Ohio. You have to have it locked up, so it has to be in a controlled room that you can lock and seal if there are children in the home. So you have to make sure that they don't have access to it, which is why mine is in my studio, which is detached from my house. That door stays locked. This is an adults only room, so it's you know what I mean. And I do keep it locked too, just because it is out. You know what I mean? It's out behind.
And by the way, it's not like an adult's room. It's like the big kid
It's,
adult.
it's the big kids adults. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like
No official people. No, 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 no.
you know what I
The,
mean? Man
the only
child for life.
the only suits allowed is weed suits. That's the only.
Facts. Biggest facts. Damn, I wish I had a caregiver. I know I'm going to screw this up. Wish my mom was still here. She was great at growing Giggle Bush. Listen, but it is something that you're going to screw up at. You know what I mean? Like you're going to fail, but you're also going to have some that you win too. And auto flowers run their whole life cycle by themselves. You just have to keep them low stress trained to keep them healthy. But usually you're looking about 90 days from seed to harvest. So by the time you pop that seed from the day that you're going to be harvesting down your crop, which also people think you just chop it down, dry it out, and go. And that's not true. You have another step. Even after you get to the flowering process, you still have to dry it. Then you have to cure it. which I mean, necessarily you don't have to cure it, but if you want some good smelling bud, if you want to bring out those terpenes, if you want that good quality like taste, you're gonna cure it. You're gonna put it in a mason jar. You're gonna burp that jar, then you're gonna try to keep it at like 62 or 67 degrees humidity or percent humidity. Sorry, but they have packs for that. Like we will get into each and every step of that. But yeah, autoflowers run their whole life cycle. So you have to just simply let them do their thing while your low stress training, which is bending branches over so that the light can get new bud sites. So instead of one main cola, you end up with several main colas, which also helps increase your yield. So, I mean, but it sounds like a lot of information coming at you and it sounds daunting, but when you actually get down to gardening it, it's a lot easier than it sounds. You start to get to know your plant. You can read your plant. You can tell what's wrong with it.
I'm friends with my plant. Become
Right.
friends with your plant. It's
Dude,
fucking
it's
wild.
so much like they tell you not to micromanage your garden, but it's so hard not to because plants like they legit live. Like right before the lights come on, you can actually watch their leaves perk up. And then when that light kicks on, those fan leaves are out and it's ready to start picking up the sun. And then like right before it's bedtime, right about an hour before those lights go out, you'll actually watch the plants droop. They go to sleep. And like it's a very fun process.
Very naturey, man. That's wild. Oh, by the
It
way,
sounds like that.
speaking of tasting all the terpenes, bro, look what I got. I got a fucking vaporizer. This thing's fucking cool. Look, it looks
Seen
like
your video on
it
that.
looks like a juice box, bro. I look like I should be solving crimes, bro. Like
Facts.
I look like I'm gonna go to a get together and I'm gonna be like, I'm not smoking with you peasants. I'll be over here in my dormitory. That's what, like,
But no, actually, I did see your review on that. I did sit down and watch that all the way through. Made sure to react and comment because
bro,
that's what we do.
it's so good. It's so fucking good, bro. I love this thing. I also got the Pura. It's the Pura 5, whatever, that last one I had, the Magnum that
Yeah.
had like the bubbler or whatever. I prefer the older model, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I prefer the older model. It has an on and off button. This one don't. You have to hit the temperature button up and down at the same time and just hold it for 3 seconds. It's a bit of
Dude,
a
that's the thing. Some of these pens, like I like a lot of Yocan products, but that's because they're so much simpler to use. A lot of times they're one button fire. They might have the three heat settings on it, and if
yeah.
they do, it's a simple click sequence. So simple. God,
Check.
I have a couple other ones that, dude, it's like high science trying to use these damn things.
They are not stoner proof, bro. And
God,
can
no.
I complain real quick about something?
Yeah,
All right, I go to. I'm 31 years old. Like most of my friends have kids,
yeah,
so most of their houses have them fucking doorknobs that are not child proof, nor are
the
they
plastic
stoner.
ones.
They're not. They're not
They're
even
fucking
stoner proof, dude. Like that is my That's my complaint, bro. They're not stoner resistant. They're stoner resistant. They need to not be. They need to be child proof, but not stoner resistant.
Yeah, no, those are definitely adult proof for sure because it took me a while, even with kids, to be able to, that and like the lock for the fucking toilet. Especially when you wake up in the middle of the night and you really got to pee. And some of those ones you have to like lift up on there's like a little tab on the bottom. You have to lift up and slide it over so it'll unlock so you can push up and then it'll like let you pivot the little thing away so you can lift the lid up. But when you put it down, you lock it back in place and it holds the lid down so the kid can't get into the toilet. Dude, I've almost peed myself because of those stupid things.
Never even heard of them, bro. But another
The
thing
toilet
that
pouch.
another thing that gets me is this friend of mine also, like a couple friends of mine, have this strap. Like it's like it attaches to the door on the
Is this a
drawer.
story you want to tell everybody?
Yeah, it attaches to the door, like the drawer, and then it attaches to the side of it so it prevents it from opening, and you have to unlock it. And I went to my friend's house and I went to open their fridge, bro. And I went to get milk and I about tore their whole fucking drawer out, like trying to get in there, bro. I'm like, how the fuck you do this? This
Dude,
is
I
not.
I have literally ripped them off of our refrigerator before because I was coming off of midnight and I just didn't want to fuck with it. I couldn't get to like My fingers are fat, so a lot of those little latch things are made like with a more narrow thing because it's harder. A kid doesn't have as much dexterity in their fingers to be able to push it,
Yeah.
so they're made thin. So when you got fat fingers, it also prevents you from getting your fingers around it just right to be able to pop that little thing, so to let the little arrow slide through, so you can pull it open, bro. I took one day and there was a freaking hammer sitting there and I just smashed it off. Like I took the bill part at the end, the pry bar part, and just yeah. Sadie come flying out. She, what the hell? I'm not fucking with it today. I'll buy another one.
Bro, they need to make them more like easy for us. Like they make it people. It's not child proof. It's people proof, bro. Like you
No,
can't fucking.
I agree.
Can I say? Can we agree that the adults of today are cannot be the adults that raised us? Like that can't be true. Like I don't think the adults now were the adults back then, man.
No, no, that was a different time
Like
period altogether.
they're different.
Yeah, no, it was a different
Like
time period altogether.
I couldn't imagine my dad getting stoned on a Saturday night. This-
No, and that's no, because my dad's always been pretty straight laced. You know what I mean? Like in
yeah,
with the military, you know what I mean? Like he takes a lot of pride in that. He
shit.
put his years in. Like I don't know the way he carries himself. I couldn't see, you know what I mean, him doing half of what I've, you know what I mean, what I've done. Like he's not that type like get in front of people and talk. I can't stay out from in front of people. Like you know what I mean. Like I'm super outgoing. I couldn't. No, it was a different. It was I don't know. It was a different time period for guys back then. So they all, I feel like, would have a very hard time doing what we do now.
But I mean, the generation that raised us is the generation that more than likely went to Woodstock, or at least the generation after.
Well, no,
So
and our parents' generation was like more progressive and with it. It would have been the age group right before them that was still in that transition period. I feel like, which would have been like some of our uncles. You know what I mean certain sets of parents though, because now you got really young grandparents. So times have
but
definitely changed.
but but Matt, think of it this way though. A lot of
Yeah,
people say
40-year-old grandmas.
a lot of people are like, it's sad. The music is so perverse nowadays. It wasn't like that when I was young. All right. I listened to a woman by the name of Lucille Bogan. She's an old blues artist from the 1930s. One of her lyrics are, I've got nipples on my titties the size of the end of my thumb. I've got one between my legs that will make a dead man come.
See, but that's a lot of it was just. I mean, there was a lot of perverse songs, but a lot of it was hidden in innuendos. Like they've always had like love tunes and like sex tracks and stuff. They just, you know what I mean, like what was old school R&B. They would literally describe love making. So you know what I mean, but it was just done in a different way. Now it's just more like
Remember Mark
everything's
Henry?
more shock, and the more shock and awe, the better because it's going to get you more turns.
I think that started in like the 90s, though, the really shock shit,
True
because
Live Crew, I would like to give most that credit to.
slob
Um,
on my knob, like corn on the cob, checking with
And then you got, you know what I mean, like 3
me
6 Mafia.
and do the job,
They're
lay on the bed, and yeah.
yeah, the 3 6 now, and like a lot of people don't like listen to like some of their lyrics. 3 6 Mafia is wild. Let me go ahead and just point out like one of their most viral, like trending songs even now is that we gon' fuck in the back of the bus and fill her nose up full of that dust. So you're gonna give her narcotics to sleep with her. Like when you break it down that way, you're like, oh, and we was hype. Everybody up until any like you know like nowadays people, like cancel culture comes up, people start actually thinking about the lyrics. Everyone was just bopping with the song itself. And we go fuck in the we even said the shit with like swagger and fill her nose up full of that dust. Like
No chance. Sometimes that's what you got. Reminds me of someone.
so, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
bro, that's fucking wild. The lyrics though back then, man, were really sus. Like that song, what the fuck song was it I was listening to the other day? Uh,
DMX, he's the prime example. While you're thinking of yours, DMX was the prime example of that man said so much questionable shit. Oh, G still one. Listen to Party Up. Talking about all these guys that he's beefing with, and he's talking about how like you know what I mean, how sweet they are, and he every time around Jaw, I just got to get my sucked. Wait
Oh
a
yeah,
minute.
I remember that.
Wait a minute.
Bro, the biggest pause moment is I got 5 on it, bro. I got 5 on it. I take sack to the face whenever I can. Whoa.
I never really thought about that.
He takes sack to the face whenever he can, bro. He's like,
Instead, so just as a matter of fact,
for a matter of fact, he does. Jag brought that up to me.
Chiba Pat, what up?
He's like, that's a huge. Chiba Pet is fucking amazing. Go check them out. They are incredible people over there.
Definitely gonna go check that out for sure. Late on the
Chiba
bit.
Pet.
And give me, yeah, they're finishing up the lyrics in the chat.
Don't have to act. Don't. Dude, I was way too young to know that song. I don't know. I don't know.
Dude, listen to you and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's
At,
do it like
at
they do on the
13,
Discovery Channel.
at 13, bro, 13, at 13 years fucking old, I was singing 45 two zigzags, baby. That song. At 13 years old, why the fuck did I know that song? Because I owned a Zune. That's why. I owned. I owned the.
504 boys. You ain't gotta say too much from the look in your eyes. I can tell you wanna fuck.
That song. There's a lot of songs out there though where the guy can't sing. Like for instance, you got
What I need.
what I
Yeah, but he was talking,
need,
but
and you said,
they were actually talking about being in love with people back in the day, though. You know what I mean? Like they was infatuated with people. Nowadays, it's literally just fucking.
I
they
mean
they skip right to the point.
that existed in multiple different song lyrics though, dating way back, dude. You know Beethoven, man. I wanna fuck. I really wanna fuck. We
You
shall
know,
fuck and fucking suck.
probably,
Fucking
and I can see that. But it's sex has always been predominant throughout fucking history.
yeah,
But
dude.
I think what what
I love sex, man. It's my second favorite thing to do.
especially when there's somebody else involved. Floyd Emery, what's up, man?
Oh, did I tell you what I bought a friend of mine, bro?
Here's them turn signals we were just talking about. What did you buy your friend, Mike? Tell us.
ADHD. So a friend of mine's going through a divorce, and I'm not gonna say his name, but shout out to him. I hope his life is getting a lot better. But a friend of mine's going through a divorce. All right.
Right.
So I go to the Lion's Den, and I buy my homeboy a pocket pussy and some lube, and I send him
But
home.
is that like that's either like the most loyal, amazing friend thing to do,
Yeah.
or the absolute creepiest gesture for your buddy? You know what I mean? Like that is either the sweetest thing that any man has ever done for somebody. Like, listen, I know it's going to be lonely, and at least it ain't your hand. Like
Huh. He
it
went
should
with
be
me. No,
commended.
I let him pick out the pussy. Like I made sure
That
it was
might even like that is probably either the single coolest or the
I
single
made sure it was a model
creepiest
that
thing
he'd
I've ever
enjoy. I
heard.
didn't want to like just pick one.
You listen,
Bro, like I
you
let
take
him
your
pick it
buddy
out.
in. You take him to the strip club. Like here, you can have any woman you want. You walk in like here, grab any pussy you want. And he's looking for the sale rack.
Yeah, bro. That's what he got. He got that puss that looks like fucking. Ever watch Tremors?
What?
Ever watch Tremors?
Yes.
Yeah, the sex toy he got looked kind of like that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was like, um,
It's an ass blaster, bro. I'm just kidding.
that being said,
No,
we're
it was a
all out of time. I love you guys. You guys can find me on Dabbing with Dads, Weed Suit Heroes. Shout out to
real friends help
Calligraphy,
friends jerk off, bro. Real friends.
Dutch Rudder and all. Shout out Calligraphy. Shout out everybody that came out and hung out tonight. Love you guys so much. Mike, where can they find you?
Love y'all.
Right.
Live long,
Love,
rock
peace,
hard.
chicken grease. Hit the rock, don't smoke it. Drive safe.